So Arachnophobia for me is a great spider movie, and let's be honest, there's only like 2 great spider movies out there, Arachnophobia and 8-Legged Freaks. At a third, then you're looking at Urban Legends 3, let's be honest. No, forget that, I've got that image stuck in my head. Oh my god, that's horrible. Oh, that's disgusting, man. Scar for life now. I think the reason why this movie was so successful and so great was the realism and the fear that this movie created. What I mean by that is, if I compare this movie to Jaws, Jaws stopped people from going into the water because people were too scared because of the sharks. I feel that the same sort of happened with spiders. People didn't want to go anywhere near spiders. It was like, well, I'm not going anywhere near that fucker. That fucker is massive. And it could be like the size of a fucking pea. And people do that now because of probably watching films like this, which scared the bejeebus out of you into thinking spiders could actually kill you. And I think that was so great because that created that realism aspect. And just like with Jaws, great white sharks rarely kill humans. Very rare. But since Jaws made that film, it made people like, well, I'm not going in there could be a shark. And same applies here. There could be a spider, well, I'm going nowhere near. And let's be honest, these small spiders that can kill people with one bite is more realistic. Hazardous waste covering spiders and making them fucking massive and eating humans. That hazardous waste stuff was like fucking steroids for those fuckers. They was fucking jacked. Also, the story for me was fantastic. Love the story. It's for me the idea that a spider could jump into a coffin, then come back to America, because these explorers were searching on this new country, didn't know what they were looking for on these mountains, and came across this new species of spider. They ended up killing 1 or 2 crew members, and they had to send the bodies back. The spider jumped in with the crew members that were dead, and then hitched a ride to America, and then caused chaos when mating with house spiders. And obviously, since there's house spiders, millions of them in the US, it created like a full fucking army of them, which was a great idea for this movie. Loved it. But that by itself isn't a success, is it? You need stuff around that. And the rivalry between the 2 doctors is for me what made this film a good film to a great film. As for me, I think that the rivalry between the doctors, it felt like they were stepping on each other's toes, because you had Dr. Jennings, who was the new doctor coming into town, as he was meant to replace Dr. Metcalf, who was meant to be retiring. However, he suddenly then changed his mind when Dr. Jennings came through the door and was like, oh, I'm now staying. What the fuck are you doing? This is my job now. No, never mind. And so he kept all his patients. So then he only had like 1 patient who was just being nice and said, all right, I'll be a patient. But then she ends up getting killed off. So then he ends up with no patients. And yeah, I think this rivalry is so good as well, because this Dr. Metcalf, every time Dr. Jennings said, that's a spider bite, I know that's a spider bite. Several times 1 or 2 of these victims got killed. And he's like, no, it's not. It's natural causes. It was a heart attack. It was this. He was adamant that, but since there was no post-mortems being done because Dr. Metcalf was like, this ain't a fucking spider bite. We're just going to bury them. We're not going to bother checking these bodies for spider bites because it's a load of nonsense. However, when Metcalf ends up getting killed, then funny enough, was it a scorpion? Was it a dinosaur? No, it was a fucking spider. Then Dr. Jennings decides to do the postmortems after Metcalf's death and suddenly finds out all of them were spider bites. And he was fucking right, and Metcalf was talking out of his ass. But it was one of those things where that rivalry was so good, because one was like the old school, I know what I'm doing sort of thing, and this is all natural causes. We don't need no postmortems. Whereas Dr. Jennings, with his science, his skills, was like, no, we need to look at this because this is important. This is how people are dying. But he didn't want to listen. He was stuck in his old ways, and it was brilliant that, because that showed the 2 contrasting different types of doctors. The ending was also really simple, of the exterminator and Dr. Jennings then finding out where the nest was, in which was part of his house. I think it was the basement. They managed to go through and destroy this nest, and then in doing so, killing all the spiders and ridding of the spiders in the community. I thought that was a great ending, because that was the final battle sort of thing of trying to find the queen spider, killing her off, killing all the offspring by basically setting fire to his house. And before we jump back into this video, guys, please do us a massive favour and smash that subscribe button, because you do not want to miss a thing. This week, next week, and the week after, because we've got tons and tons of content planned for you guys, and you can do us a massive favour by smashing that subscribe button, joining the community, getting updates to all the latest videos from the YouTube shorts to the actual videos. It is well worth it, completely free, and you will not regret it. So to summarise Arachnophobia, for me this is an 8.2 out of 10 and a classic film. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments down below. Is it good, bad, terrible, amazing? Let us know all that jazz down those comments down below. And if you're in for more movie content, check out our Beetlejuice movie review right now.